Everything that we're going to discuss today is still preliminary and subject to change. Again, preliminary and subject to change. At about 6 a.m. this morning, a phone call came into the Bowie City Police Department with a report of a bomb threat at Bowie State University. Investigators believe that numerous threats throughout the area and throughout the nation were coming in targeting several historically black colleges and universities. At this point, we've got investigators from both our federal, state, and local agencies working to conduct a thorough search of the Bowie State campus. At this point, all classes at Bowie State University are being conducted virtual for the remainder of the day. The phone call that came in this morning around 6 a.m., although the credibility of this phone call is in question, it's important to note that the Maryland State Police and all of our investigators who are working this take bomb threats very seriously and will be conducting a thorough investigation. At this point, we have canines and their handlers working on scanning the entire campus, both the interior and exterior of all the buildings. So far, there's been no reported injuries and no further threats at this point. Besides listing all the different agencies that are out here helping, which I will actually send you a news release so you can list them yourselves, are there any questions?
When you say other colleges, you mean other historical black colleges in the country? Do you know how many? Have you been in communication to say how many?
We do not know how many. We do know that there are multiple threats being made to historical black colleges and universities throughout the area.
Did the caller express any racial animus? Do we suspect that these calls targeting HBCUs are motivated by racial animus?
Investigators at this point do not know what the motive of this phone call was. Certainly that's being considered, that he is targeting the historically black colleges and universities. And again, that is a very serious threat to any of the police that are on scene today who are conducting this investigation.
Can we ask a question, Madam President? So clearly we don't know who did this, we don't know why just yet, but there was a round of calls to HBCUs early January. It's happened again to some others. What do you make of this? What are you feeling today? What's your thought?
Thank you for that question. Before I answer the question, I do want to thank all of the law enforcement officers who are here, who showed up on the scene, and those who have been in contact with this campus. I thank the city of Bowie, the county, the state, everyone, local, state, and federal officials who have responded rapidly to this concern. What do I make of it? It's unfortunate that our historically black colleges and universities are being targeted in this way. We are a gem here in Prince George's County, producing excellent students, and it's very very unsettling, very disturbing to have our students subjected to this. We're in the second week of classes, and I do hope that the individual is found. It is very unsettling, is what I would say, and I want to assure the parents and families who are watching that we have responded quickly. Law enforcement is here in force, and we're going to do everything we can to keep this campus safe.
Have there been other issues? Have you, in your experience, had things like this before?
No, we have not had anything like this happen.
How many people are on campus right now?
We have over 6,300 students, and we are back in person. We have some high flex classes. We have over 1,000 students who are living on the campus in the residence halls.
Can you speak more generally to the current political mood in the country, and whether you fear this might be connected to racism?
I really can't say. I think, as you heard earlier, law enforcement is looking into this to determine the source, the individual who's responsible. So I really can't address the political relationship to the threat that we received today. It is most unfortunate that our historically black colleges and universities are being targeted on this day, and earlier in the year we heard of similar reports. But I believe law enforcement will be looking into the matter very quickly.
Will it deter you from your...
How much of an impact is making losing this learning day and folks having to hunker down this way?
Thank you. It's an emotional upheaval. We've been experiencing and impacted by COVID-19. So this is our first year we're fully back in person with in-person learning and in the second week of classes. So it's most unsettling for the students to have to address this. So the emotional, mental health and well-being of our students is of concern. We will make sure that we have counselors on hand and we'll be addressing the supports that they need.
I'm so sorry I interrupted you. What's the plan going forward? I know, Elena, you said virtual for the rest of this day. Is the plan to open with in-person classes tomorrow?
Well, that remains to be seen. We're going to assess and talk with our students today. Their safety, their well-being is our priority, so we want to assess also with our faculty who had to make the change today and pivot to virtual learning. We'll make an assessment and we'll determine that at a later time today.
Will this deter you in any way from your mission of training the next generation of African American leaders in this country?
Not at all. Will it deter me? No. It makes me even stronger because I know what our students need. We're here. We've been here for over 150 years providing education, outstanding, excellent education to our students, and that's our mission. So no, we will not be deterred.
Have you spoken to any of your counterparts at any of the other HBCUs that were impacted today or a month ago?
I have spoken with my counterparts. Some have reached out today to express their concern and their support. We appreciate that. We appreciate the support that we also have received from the University System of Maryland and my colleagues across the system. So I believe there are many out there who are standing with us today, locally and across this nation, who are very mindful of the excellence that we have provided to our students, and we will continue to do so.
How were the students doing? Have you had a chance to talk to many of the students? Are they pretty upset about this? What's your sense?
I have not been in touch directly with the students. Our Vice President for Student Affairs and our housing units, they have been reaching out to the students firsthand because we did go into the shelter in place. And the students did an excellent job in sheltering in place. So the staff and housing and across the campus, they have been in direct contact.
And do you have any sense, you said 6,300 students
are enrolled at Bowie State University.
Do you have any sense how many of them are here or how many of them live on campus?
So we have up to about 1,900 that stay in the residence halls here on campus, and we believe that there's over 1,000 who are actually on the campus today.
I have a question for state police as well, although you may be able to answer. At what point did state police or investigators realize this wasn't an isolated call and that it was part of a series of calls of bomb threats made today?
I'll let law enforcement handle that. Thank you.
State police have been in communication with their federal, state, and local law enforcement partners and are still trying to determine whether these phone calls to other historical black colleges and universities are all connected in any way.
What's your
Speak
message?
to what's happening right
sorry.
now, and so students are on lockdown in their dorms, they're on lockdown in classrooms, they're staying in place. Or what is happening right now, and how long will that be happening? And what are you all doing? Are you all going building to building, room to room, or can you explain that process?
Every inch of the Bowie State University campus is being scanned by canines and searched by our investigators. And until that that thorough search has been completed, we will not be able to allow for the Bowie State University to bring their students back on campus. So we are working with the administrative staff at Bowie State University to determine when that may happen.
What's your message to anybody who might engage in this kind of conduct, even if there's no device found? This is a criminal act.
This is definitely a criminal act, and whoever is responsible for causing so many resources to come out to a university, maybe not just Bowie State University, but throughout this country, there will be a punishment of some sort, and they will be investigated to its fullest.
Elaine, you had said he earlier, referencing the caller. Was it a man?
I do not know the gender of the caller. I'm sorry, I said he. Just
Okay,
my mistake.
Approximately how many law enforcement personnel is actually on campus right now doing the job? I know you have several agencies, but how many personnel?
We have a huge number of resources from all of our law enforcement partners here on the campus today working this investigation. Thank you all very much for coming today.
Just one more question. What did the callers say about where that there were bombs planted here, and did they give specifics as to where and what their intentions were?
When the call came in, my understanding is that the caller said there were multiple locations on Bowie State University's campus that he or she was targeting. So again, that is another reason that every inch of this campus is being searched and scanned as it is. Thank you.
Thank you.